everybody. So I just got back from seeing The Boss Baby, and if you guys have been following my channel, you know that this has been one of my most dreaded movies of the year, you could say. I really hated the trailers, and I really don't like the concept of a boss baby. And so, you know, I went into it with pretty low expectations, and I always say the secret to happiness in life is low expectations. Well, in this case, I have to say it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it's still pretty bad, and I definitely can't recommend it. It's not like Norm of the North bad. It's not as bad as, I don't think it's as bad as Shark Tale or Home, but I'd probably put it there in the third spot for Dreamworks comedy, for Dreamworks films. You did a babysitter for your kids, like, they would probably be fine with it, but I just have some issues. But let's talk about the positive things, because there are some positives that I did actually genuinely really like. It's no big surprise that the animation is good. Dreamworks animation is always good. And so that's why it was kind of disappointing that they were settling for this baby movie. You know, it was just like, what on earth? Well, the animation is really good. And the thing I really liked was the little boy in the film has these imagination scenes where he goes into his imagination and he becomes a pirate, he becomes an explorer, he becomes all these different things. And those are very well animated and a lot of fun. There's a sweetness to them. There's a sentimentality to them that is very heartwarming and nice. And in a certain way, the setup could be helpful for some families that are having a new addition to the family, and that's creating conflict. But I think the way that it's sort of handled kind of ruins that a little bit. But there are some nice moments of family and some nice lessons that you get in the film, so I'll give it that. There are some nice moments. Hans Zimmer's score is a lot of fun. It's nice to see him in Kung Fu Panda 3 and in some of these other films breaking away from that that he did for so long in so many movies. This is light, this is fun, and I appreciate that a lot. Okay, so first of all, to start out this movie, the premise is so weird. So and I think that your sort of payoff of this movie will depend a lot on how much and how funny you think it is to have a baby dressed as a boss and speaking like Alec Baldwin. I'm not a 30 Rock fan. I'm not a huge Alec Baldwin fan. And so I think that other people might get more enjoyment out of that than I do. But it's kind of from my perspective, it's kind of a sad premise. Because unlike Storks, which had, I think, a much more clear and sort of understandable mythology, I guess, behind it, where you understood kind of the storks are delivering the babies and there happened to be this one lost baby. In this case, there are some babies that are sent to management and some babies that are delivered to their families, even though the mother still gets pregnant and everything. Like in Storks, some of the moms got stork babies and some of them got regular babies, and so it was a little less confusing. But I guess I hated working in a cubicle, and I hated, I called it cubicle hell. And so there's these long shots. It looked like something out of The Apartment. Have you seen that Jack Lemmon movie where there's like there's just the rows and rows and rows of these cubicles, and the baby comes off of the assembly line, and then he gets into a cubicle, and he like dreams of working at the corner office and having the big corner desk. And I'm like, that sounds like my nightmare. And the idea of like never growing up, always being a baby, and working at this corporation your whole existence, like for eternity basically, or till you start to get old, that sounds like horror movie to me. And I did read a review where they said look at it as an existential horror movie, and you totally can. And to me, like, it's just because I hated that kind of office environment so much. And so anytime when they're talking, like, and he comes down and is part of this family, and you're like, why on earth would he want to go back up to this horror of being the boss baby? So I don't know, it's just such a weird, uncomfortable premise. But the other thing, he comes down, and like these parents have to be like insane because they don't mind that he's wearing a suit. Like, it's so weird. He has this briefcase, and he's there as sort of like a spy, and he gets like his baby milk that's like makes him magic, and so he is there, and he's trying to spy on this kid, Timothy. His parents work for this puppy company, even though they don't have a puppy at their house, which I thought was weird. And so he's trying to spy to find out this new breed of puppy that they're gonna introduce. And the thing is so he shows this like pie chart to the other babies, that there's only so much love to go around, and puppies are taking over all of the love for babies. But this is like I know you could say, wow, you're way overthinking this baby movie, but it's kind of an essential, like, they try to milk this sentiment, so it's sort of important, but it's a flawed premise. Like, we as human beings don't have a fill line where we can't give love anymore. Like, that's why somebody that has 4 children can love 5 children. And that's why somebody, I know people that have 14 children. I know people have 10 children. And you have the capacity. That's why a teacher can love a classroom of 30 students. And like, we don't have some level where it's like, oh, well, I've got 3 puppies, so therefore I can love one less of my children. Like, it's just like such a weird concept to base like your animated film on. Like, what on earth? What's going on? But anyway, even if you sort of ignore that, it really kind of becomes a Secret Life of Pets kind of thing, where you have this intruder coming in and hurting his like perfect life, and then there's all this jealousy, forming this bond, and it gets really, really, really out of control and crazy. Like, seriously, these parents are like the worst parents ever, because like they're like, child and baby are like on a plane, they like go to Vegas, they like, it gets out of control real fast, and it just becomes really, really, really played out, predictable, kind of boring, and I don't know, just nothing special at all. And they keep throwing in all of the toilet humor, all of the baby jokes, all of the things. And so if you don't find those funny, which I didn't, then it becomes kind of a slog, and it's just not something sort of pleasant to watch. And so I don't know, like, it does have sweet moments. It's not horrible. You're not going to be like in agony about it. And I think kids will be fine. They'll be moderately entertained by it. But I expect better from DreamWorks. I expect better writing. And it just had such an odd message that was never really resolved. Like, they never sort of explained that there was plenty of love to go around, and there was no like love shortage. And they never like freed those babies from that horrible work thing, like from the Boss Baby. Let me know what you think if you see Boss Baby. And thanks so much. Please let me know what is your favorite DreamWorks comedy. So thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.